Hi there, it's Naomi from Happy Heart, and this video is going to show you how you can start to map out things in your business that you can switch up online. So for example, in this video I'm going to talk about, if you are a coach or a consultant and you're currently doing face-to-face appointments, you want to be able to take those online. It may be that you are delivering just a one-on-one, so it's just you and another person, or whether you're in more of a group environment. So for example, taking a fitness class or yoga class or something like that, where you need to be able to take your business one to many. So first up, it's about mapping out in terms of what it is that you want to achieve. So for example, I'm just going to use these little boards. If anybody wants to know this gadget, it is called milanote.com. It's a board that it's like a visual planning board. I use it to map all my website projects out and everything like that. Super useful. So I'm just using it to demonstrate the different steps that you can take to sort of organize what you're going to be doing. So first up, we're going to look on one-on-one. And the things that you will need is you will need payment portals. Now, the two things that I recommend we use for that, I'm just going to drop them in here. One would be PayPal. The other option you might want to use is Stripe. So that would be the same whether you're working in one-on-one or group environment, and there are different ways that we can map that out. Second up is you might want to have an appointment scheduling tool. Now that might be, just going to pop that in, would help if I could spell. Rename that one. I spelt it right that time, not with a Y. I think so. Anyway, okay. So an appointment scheduling tool of some form. And the ones I'm going to be talking about are Calendly, which can work in various ways, and also Acuity. Okay, maybe if we're doing one-to-many, we might put another one in there. And the next up would be like the delivery of the class. So obviously taking payment, booking people into your diary, and then class or consultation. So we'll call this one delivery. Okay, so those are basically the three steps that we're going to be working with, and the different options of how you can do that. So if we head up this one, first up, let's go payment. So if you start to think about how you want to take payment, this may differ as to whether you've got a website or not. So first up, I'm going to take it that you haven't got a website, and we're going to look at some options there. And then we will cover, if you have got a website, how you can sort of integrate into your website to create a bit more of a customer flow and a bit of a customer journey with that. So you don't need a website to be able to take your business online. I'm really going to cover kind of short-term strategy, long-term strategy. I'm a big believer that everybody should have a website, particularly when you're operating online, but sometimes we need to get stuff up quite quickly, and therefore we can have a short-term strategy, and there is other ways that we can deliver too. Okay, so first up, if we go PayPal or Stripe, I'm just going to cover some videos of how you can set up payment buttons, whether you're delivering one-on-one online consultations or whether that is one-to-many. Okay, so within PayPal, we do have, I'm just going to flick over here, a couple of options. Okay, so we've got something called paypal.me. It's really, really easy to set up. You can just basically go into paypal.me, you can create your paypal.me link, and it will just let you go and put your company name or whatever that is after your link. It's going to make me log in because I've already got a PayPal account. You literally create a link. I think mine is, I don't use mine very often, but I think it's Happy Heart HQ. Let's have a little look. Could just be, there we go. So there is my PayPal link. If somebody wants to come and pay me, they can just enter an amount in, click next, that will come straight into my PayPal account. So that is the link there that I would want to map out and kind of share on my planning board. So I'm just going to put this in here, that somebody could come and pay me like that if they wanted to. Downside of that is they can set their own amount, so it may be that you want to have a specific amount, which is going to take me to the next stage of kind of setting up your PayPal buttons. So if we come into PayPal account. I am just going to log into mine here, hoping that it's remembered the password. I know what it is. Hang on a minute. I think it is this. I'm just going to take this on screen while it logs off, just so it doesn't show any data. Okay, when you are in PayPal, you basically need to come into your account. I'm just doing this behind the scenes, just till I get into the little bit that I need, and then I'm going to tell you how to do that. Okay, so if you click on send and request in PayPal here, you will see it gives you an option of create an invoice. That's one way that you can get payment, where you can actually put in your specific amount. So you literally just click on here, you can create an invoice, fill it out with all the information that you want. You can even add your company logo, stuff like that. And then when you have done it, you can send it. So you can send it via PayPal, or you can share a link and then send your customer a link to make payment. So if you want to get it a little bit more automated, so that you're not actually constantly creating invoices, if you're serving one-to-many, where you're taking many payments, then you might want to create a link that you can just send the same link to everybody that has got that account. And this is what you would need if you want to start kind of integrating stuff into websites as well. You do need a PayPal business account for this, and you come into basically tools, into all tools within PayPal, and it'll bring up this screen here. And this is where you can either achieve recurring payments directly into PayPal or PayPal buttons. Now, when we go into PayPal buttons, these can be used on a website, but they can also be used in email to send that out to people. So you can come in here, you can just create a new button. It's going to take a minute. It's having a little think. Okay, it's asking me to do it here. Okay, it's just, there we go, it is thinking. Okay, then it's going to choose a button type. So most of you will either be wanting to buy now, or maybe create a subscription kind of button where people will pay so much a month, so much a week, and I'll show you both of those. So first up, we've got a buy it now, and I'm just going to put in counselling session here, and it might be, say, £40. And then we've got some options here. So this is actually creating a button. Most of you, if you haven't got a website particularly, you don't really need to be creating this button. What we're actually creating is a link for you to be able to share with your customer. So I'm going to put no postage on here. I don't need a drop down with different options, and I don't need a text field. Then I'm going to create the button here. Okay, now what this does is it gives us a load of gobbledygook code. I'm actually going to save this here, and I'm going to put it back into that little planning board here, so I can just use it afterwards on this video to show you how that works. So this is the code that I might want to use on a website. But what it also does is it gives us an email link. Okay, so this link here, if we copy this, again, I'm going to slot it into my board here, so I've got it to show you. Just drop a little note down there. This is an email link. Now, if I share this link anywhere on an email and somebody clicks on it, it will take them straight to that payment. So I'm just clicking on it there, and you see it's going to take them. So if I put this on an email, or if I sent it to somebody on a Facebook message or whatever else, it's going to send them a link to this payment for £40 for that specific payment. They can just join Facebook or log in, or they can even check out as a guest. So they don't have, not Facebook, PayPal, they don't have to actually have a PayPal account. They can check out as a guest to pay you this £40. Okay, so that's a really cool way to be able to get payment. Now, if you don't want to use PayPal for whatever reason, then you can also use something called Stripe. Works in quite a similar way. It's not as friendly if you haven't got a website. So you can create an invoice. If you come into stripe.com, create an account, you can come in and create an invoice here. I'm just going to use one of my test accounts here. So you would select your customer, add your customer, put whatever it is in there. Let's go for the same thing. Okay, you'd put your price in there, and then you would come down edit all the details, and I'm just going to preview this here because this is what the client would see. I've got mine branded in my colours, invoice from Happy Heart HQ, and they can just choose to pay the invoice, but you would need to send them this. So we can click on send invoice, can enter their details, pop it over to them there and take payment that way. So that's kind of your first stage in terms of getting these payments together of how you can actually get money in online. So I've showed you PayPal and I've showed you Stripe, and as I said, that will be the same whether you work it across just one-off session or whether you are wanting to do something more in a bigger environment. So next up, we've got appointment and scheduling. So when you've got payment, we need to be able to attach appointments to that. There is ways that we can link these two together, but I'm going to keep this video pretty basic so that you can just literally take this, get yourself online with stuff. So when we're looking at appointment scheduling, I've mentioned two platforms here. We've got Acuity and we have got Calendly. So I'm just going to open a new window up in the background here so I can show you both those platforms. Okay, so if we look at Calendly here, I use Calendly. In fact, I'll take you into my Calendly account. I think you can get a free version of Calendly. I actually pay a paid version. You can try it all free for 14 days. There we go. We've got a free one calendar, one user, one event type. So you can get a free version. I use a premium version just because I have different levels of stuff on there. And in fact, we'll log in. I'll just go to my account here just so that I can show you the types of things that you can achieve. So I'm going to go here. I've got a website powwow session that I run, not won. Okay, so what is this event? I've set it up as a bonus powwow session. Really easy to set up. So I'm just going to go back and show you actually how to set an event up if you want to use it. So you literally come in, you create a new event type, one-to-one or to a group. So this is where you can define whatever it is that you want. And we're just going to choose it. So we're going to put, I'm going to call this online community. You can put a location. We're talking about online. I'm going to talk about some of these later on, but you can, if you're using Zoom, put a link into Zoom. It could be a phone call, it could be a Google Meet or Hangout, could be in person, it could be in person online, and you could leave it custom. So you can just leave it and then obviously email them afterwards. Now, if you want to add a link to another platform, I'm going to share a couple with you, then you could just put a link here. So one I'm going to share is please meet me in my whereby room. And I'm going to share this one with you in a second anyway. So we'll just go to my whereby room here and I'm just going to put in a link there. Okay, and then it was going to give you an event link. So calendly.com/Happy Heart HQ, online community, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm obviously going to have it pink. Then I'm going to click to next, okay, and it will give you the duration. So this might be an hour session, 45-minute session, whatever that is. So you're going to click that, and then it's going to ask you when you are actually available. So if you're wanting just to do all your online consultations on a Friday, for example, then you're going to want to shut down your diary for the rest of those days. So it might be all Mondays that I'm closed, I'm unavailable, all Tuesdays, I'm unavailable, all Wednesdays. And it might be that I'm going to leave Thursday and Friday open, but it might be on a Thursday that I'm only going to be available between, let's go between 10 a.m. should update this. 10 a.m. and maybe 3 p.m. or something like that. And you can choose whether you apply it just to that day or whether you apply it to all Thursdays across the board. So it will show you the times that you have got available there. Then I'm just going to click next. And here, whenever I share this link here, that is going to bring people to this particular Calendly diary. So we can see that link there. So somebody might want to pay on PayPal, just going to ping them an email and say, here's the details. You can book your session here. Once they've paid, they can come and book on. Now, moving forward, more advanced technology, there are ways that we can zap this together, so this would all kind of be automated, but this isn't about that. This is about how we're just going to get ourselves online, how we're going to get these appointments and things scheduled in. So that would be the sort of next stage of your journey. Now, Calendly is great for both one-off appointments and also for groups. I showed you the group one a second ago. It works in a very similar kind of way. In fact, we'll go back and we'll just cover that off so that we've got that all in one here. So if I go and do a new type of event here, we can go to group. What's the event called? Group. Location again is the same, descriptions, and we can create a link here. So I might want to call this group. This is the difference where we can put how many invites. So it might be that you're having an online room and you really only want to have 10 people in that room at one time so it doesn't get too busy. So we can lock down the number that are available in this appointment scheduling tool. Okay, so that's Calendly. The next one that I would recommend is Acuity. Acuity is great, particularly if you're going to be putting stuff into a website, sort of streaming it through a website as well. Not going to go through Acuity massively. I tend to use Calendly over Acuity, but literally just like I've shown you with Calendly there, it's, you know, really, really intuitive. You can just follow it through. Free version, one calendar version, growing, and then obviously into Powerhouse. Most of you will be at this sort of lower stage of this sort of emerging entrepreneur at $15 to be able to create yourself an online space with that, but just literally follow the wizards through, get your schedule sorted with the with your diary open and everything else, and then I'm going to show you the next stages of where we can go with everything. So we've looked at Calendly and we've looked at Acuity, which would be two of the tools that I would use to be able to get your scheduling in place. Then when that's done, it's about delivery, and I've had lots of questions about how do I actually, you know, get this information to the world, if you like. Okay, so this is where it might slightly differ between one-on-one kind of classes and things, or consultations, and one-to-many. So I've just mentioned Whereby. I'm going to give you a little bit of a show of that one. Okay, the next one up, it could be, if you are just speaking to one person, you might just want to do it over FaceTime, or you could do it over something like Skype. I'll put Skype in there as well. We could do it on something like, I've said FaceTime, Skype. It could be Facebook Messenger. We have a face to camera option in there as well, or it could be even that you want to set up a mini Facebook group just between you and that other person if you're wanting to share sort of documents and things online. It could be that you do a pre-recorded video to pop over, so if they're booking, you know, making payment, you might want to skip out this middle section. They might want to make a payment and you're just going to skip straight to delivery. They've paid me, I'm going to send them a video. You know, they might want to fill out a questionnaire or something like that, which we'll look at. And you can skip straight into delivery, and this area here would be out of the equation because you can just do it at your own pace. There's lots of different ways to kind of think about how to do that and where to maximize your efforts with that. Okay, so if we were again, you could use live technology. So you could use something called Be Live. I'm going to cover all of these off with you. And particularly, well, it goes for both actually. If you were doing a one-to-one consultation or to a group where you needed people to be interactive, you might want to look at Zoom. Okay, so there are other ways. There's other ways that we can live stream. You know, I'm just going to add, actually, let's just make this box a little bit aligned, and we'll just put Facebook live stream, which really links to a Facebook group here. Okay, so let's take a look at these different platforms here. So first up, I've mentioned Whereby. Here I am. Hi. I just realised you couldn't see me on camera there. I meant to put myself in the corner. So when we're looking at Whereby, you create a room. You can use free technology. You can have up to 4 people in this room, and you can see at the top here, I have got a website address of whereby.com/happy heart. This is my room. Whenever I share this out to anybody, they can come and join me in this room, and you can see here I have got a little button that says join meeting. So when I'm coming into my meeting, I'm here and I can send this link out. You can see up here, we've got 4 spaces in this room I can invite people into, and I can lock it down as well, so that if I've got people waiting to come in for a next session or something like that, that they don't interrupt the session that I'm already in. I can lock that down. Lots of functionality on here. So you can see we've got camera, microphone. So if I switch this off, I'm going to disappear. You will still be able to hear me, but you can't see me. And I'm back. And if the mic goes off, you won't be able to hear me. I'm actually not talking, I am talking. So we can switch these off. What I tend to do before I'm coming into a room, waiting for a guest to come in, is I'll have my camera switched off, and I'll also have my mic switched off. And then as people join me, I will switch them back on. We can also share screen in this room. So here I could be coming in, I could be talking to you about this session. I'm just going to come in and share my Malinote board. You'll still be able to hear me, you won't be able to see me, but it means that whoever is in this other seat can come and talk and chat through things here. You can also create, let me just stop sharing that so you can see me. You can also create a little bit of a chat. So if I probably can't share, let me just try and share this actual screen. It might let me. Okay, this is clever. I'm now sharing the screen that I'm sharing. So over on the right hand side here, you can see we've got a bit of a chat area going on, and people can see me, and I can leave, I can wave and say goodbye. So as I said, it's free up to 4 people. There is then a paid layer as you add more people in, but we can turn this on to chat so you can see who's in the room and all that kind of stuff. So really, really great tool. It's probably my preferred tool for working online with that. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen. In fact, I'm going to come out of Whereby and disappear all of that off. And then I'm just going to come into a platform called Zoom. So both of these platforms you could use if you were doing one-to-many, or if you were just doing a one-to-one kind of meeting. Zoom is very similar. You can come into the plans and pricing here. Again, sign up, get your unlimited one-to-one meetings here. You can host up to 100 people on Zoom. Go for the pro version, look at the different options, decide what is right for you, and select that kind of platform. So I'm going to actually put these 2 in one area, because really Zoom and what did I just talk about, Whereby, so we'll put those up there next to each other. They're great for both kind of one-to-many and one-to-one. So whether you're doing a whole room or whether you're just doing a one-to-one, they're great for either of those. FaceTime and kind of Skype are more kind of led to one-to-one, as is Facebook Messenger on those sorts of platforms. And then we've got things like Facebook Live, streams video, Be Live, and a Facebook group. All of these can be one-to-many. So Facebook live streams, you could be going live in a Facebook group with live stream, and not just Facebook live stream, there's lots of different live stream platforms that you could be using. Video, so you could be pre-recording video, and Be Live, I'm going to show you in a second, but Facebook groups are a great way if you haven't got a website to be able to kind of build this technology up quite quickly. Okay, so if we talk about, let me just move live stream over there. If we talk about video, things that are going to help you with the video, you can do it from your phone. If you have got, I use, actually, let me just, I wonder if I've got it open. I haven't got it open in the background, I'm just trying to open it up. I use iMovie. Recording video, that's just, it's bouncing away in the background. If you're looking at recording video, what I would recommend, if you need to go face to camera, in the Mac you have something inbuilt called Photo Booth that you can use recording face to camera. If you need to record screen, then you can use something called Screencast-O-Matic. It's here. We're just going to go into Google and find it. It's free if you don't mind having their branding on it, and you can record up to 15 minutes. If you want to extend it, record stuff a little bit longer, you do need to pay the paid version. I think it's about $15 a year or something. It's cheap as chips. you can go and get this kind of screen technology. There we go. We've got team plans in there as well, which is great. So they've Premier month, build yearly, or deluxe. So there's different options in there for you to go and have a look at. That's the technology that I'm using to record this video today. I am using Screencast to record that. So think about how you're going to kind of record your video. So it could be your mobile phone, it could be photo booth, it could be Movie Maker on PC. Movi is a good one. I've actually put all these into a blog, all these different kind of things that you can use, and we just mentioned Screencast there, so that you can actually get those videos put together. If you need to start editing video, again, there's lots of things on your phone. You can kind of record your screen again on your phone. That's another way that you can use it. It's like your fingertips. You can be able to communicate by all of that stuff. For editing, things like iMovie, it's totally free. Mine's just loading up in the background here. Here's my iMovie. We can bring, you know, videos into here, edit them pretty easily, to be able to sort of top and tail videos. If you're needing to make them look a little bit more professional, I'll probably cover those on separate videos, but that's a free tool that you can kind of use there. Just close it down in the background. It's decided to stay up. Okay. So think about how you're going to edit it. Apps on your phone. If you need to know any of these apps, just give me a shout. Just trying to cover as much on this video to really, this is about you getting kick-started, just being able to implement something into your business pretty quickly, to be able to transfer all your skills online. Okay, so video. Facebook live stream and Facebook groups. So you can create a free Facebook group, and then you can live stream into that group. Now, when you are using Facebook, I'm just going to go into my Facebook in the background, you can do that straight face to camera. So if you set a Facebook group between you and another person, then you can literally just go, and I'm just going to go into one of my groups actually. Let me just go into my Jet Set website group. My lovely peeps in there. Okay, so this is the group that I manage anyway. I'm just going to take you just to show you the group sort of environment in here. That if we come into here, you can literally just click on the live button. So you could have a group, just you and another person, or you could create a group environment. So you can see here I've got 93 members in this group. We can create a live video here. I'm going to come face to camera again in a minute, so you will get to see me. It's just having a think because I've got lots of things open here. Okay, so I could just put live video here, and you can see here I can go FaceTime like I am now into the group, or I can split that and just share the screen. Now, what I can't do is do both. So here is my Jet Set website template. I might want to come in, talk about my Jet Set website template, talk about everything that it does, update them. This is a training area for that, so I'll be able to tell them how to update stuff, what and kind of check on websites, etc. So it's cool for that, but you can't actually see me. I'm going to stop sharing now. If I'd hit the live button, which is down here at the bottom somewhere, can't see it, there it is. Okay. If I'd hit the live button, I wouldn't have then been able to flip from me to the screen. So if you need to be face to camera, you can go direct in face to camera. But if you need to be able to have the technology to be able to flip between you and a screen to kind of give a demo and stuff, then this isn't the best option. You can still use a Facebook group to do it, but you do need to use a bit of a third-party application. So the one I'm going to show you is called Be Live. And as I said, there's loads of these different platforms out there. I'm sharing my online toolkit, the stuff that I use on a daily basis so that I can help and support you to totally do the same. Now you can head to Be Live here, and my subscription is going to come up with a notification because it's due to renew very soon. In fact, there I am, look, I'm even on their advert with the lovely Alison Christie. So if you click on Start Broadcast, it's going to open up this box. Now this is a paid application. You do need to pay for this resource to be able to power up and help you. Here I am again. Now you'll see here we have some different options. So I can go live with this technology. I can pick the group. So here we go. We've got my Jet Set Go Express Websites group up here. If I want to change it to another group, didn't mean to click on that. It's going to take me to the group. I can edit it. I can come down here and I can choose where I want to be. So it works on YouTube as well. But I'm just going to stream here to, I can go down and choose whether it's out on my page, whether it's in a platform. So it might be, I've got my website Wonderland group that I click on there and want to go and stream in there. If I do, it's going to change it up. We can give it a post description and then we can save it. Okay, now, here we go. You can see it's changed at the top there. I've connected my camera already. If it doesn't show, you can connect that. I can add a guest. So this is a way, so you can go live with this technology, but actually if I just wanted to invite someone to have a chit chat with me that's booked a session or something, I could also just send this link. So if I gave this link to somebody else, I'm just going to put this out, hang on a minute, you can't see that. They would click on this link here and they would come in and look, it says here, she's invited you to join the stream. It's a live Q&A website Wonderland. They would just need to click on connect camera and then they would see you. Now, you don't actually have to go live at this point. I'm just trying to find my account. There we go. Just drop this down. A guest could come in and join me. So we could be side by side having this chat without hitting this green button. So although it's live streaming technology, you could use it behind the scenes as well if you wanted to. Now, if you are wanting to kind of go out there with the world and be able to do interviews, things like that, or if you wanted to be in a Facebook group where somebody's paid you, you've made an appointment, or you're coming in one-to-many, you might want to interview somebody, then you can totally use this platform to do that. The advantage of using this platform instead of going direct into Facebook is that you can also share screen. So if I click here, I could have a guest with me now. I'm going to show in stream here. I could also have a demo. So if I'm needing to talk to somebody, if I'm needing to share a screen, I can flip between the two. And this is why I use this platform a lot, because I can shrink me down. I can have my website templates open. I can be showing you how to do stuff in the back end of a website. I can have multiple screens as well. So if I wanted to then share another screen, I might want to share, what else have we got open here? The Milo board that we're working on. I might want to bring this in. I can click on bring it into the stream. Now I've got 3 windows open. This way it becomes a bit tricky because you have to then work out how you drop yourself small and how some of the other screens are a bit bigger. You can move them around and stuff, so you just have to work out, but you get the general gist. Now, if I was presenting into a group, if I was sharing a group environment, stuff that I needed to sort of explain, do talk with my hands a lot, I might want to do a video, screen share of what I'm doing on a website, and I might want to show you what I'm doing planning wise, so I can bring this both across to create this sort of training environment. Over on the right hand side, in fact I'm going to share my screen to hide that one. I'm going to go and share another screen so I can show you what I'm pointing at. This is great. It's going to get really tricky because I'm actually sharing a screen of me sharing a screen. Okay, let me drop this one down, make myself small all the way around. There we go. So over on the right hand side here, we have got a chat. So as people are speaking to you in your Facebook group, you will be seeing the comments and things up here, so you can kind of have that two-way conversation. Now, if you're streaming in a Facebook group, sometimes the comments just come up as Facebook user, so it's a good idea to have your mobile phone with that same sort of thing going on, or another kind of window open on your desktop, depending what you're doing. You know, if you're a yoga teacher or a fitness instructor, you're probably not going to be looking at the comments that are coming through. You're probably going to be doing your thing, but you've got those to then go back to, because people will be kind of giving you feedback, or maybe they won't because they'll just be watching what you are doing. So this is a good platform to be able to do one-to-many if you want to be able to do that in a Facebook group environment, whether that's training, whether that's a yoga class, whether that's, you know, being a coach or a consultant and taking stuff. So you can have one member in a Facebook group, you can have 1,000 members in a Facebook group. So it's just thinking about how you're delivering what is right for you and what is right for your business. It may be that you've got several Facebook groups to deliver this sort of training in. As I said, it doesn't need to be done that way. There's lots of different ways that it can be done. I'm just going to shut Be Live Studio down now and come to this. But this is what we're really talking about. So you can see how these then link into this sort of area over here. So I would call this sort of live stream group environment. This is kind of video of how you want to distribute that. Then you've got your kind of one-to-one, and then you've got your sort of group online platforms. Now, there's obviously lots of ways that you can use, I'm still talking with my hands, by the way, even though you can't see me. There's lots of ways that you can use your website as well to be able to kind of pull all of this stuff together, which I am going to talk you through for those of you who have got websites, of how do we put all this stuff in one place. So we've talked about taking payment, we've talked about appointment scheduling. You may or may not need to have that. You could just create an event in a Facebook group, take payment, add them into a Facebook group, schedule that as an event. You know, there's lots of different ways that we can do that. In fact, we will mention that if you don't need to sort of set up that scheduling, if you're going to be running a Facebook group. Where's my columns gone? Come back. And there we go. It could be that you set up a Facebook event and you just tell people that you're going to go live within Facebook. So you would literally just come into your group. Let's just find it in mine. In fact, I'm going to create one myself. Come off the live video here. And if I go into my events here, I'm going to leave that page. I've got Tech Time on Friday. It's already in there. Tech Time next Friday. I'm actually just going to come into one of these events. And if I duplicate this event here, I'm just going to make it for the following week. There on a Friday morning, you can set the time, set the event name, description, everything else. And we can just quickly create this event. Quickly, we can create it quickly. Facebook might take it. So you can see there, 3rd of April, got this event going ahead. Obviously, if it's your first event, you're going to need to add like a picture up here and description and things. And straight away, it's invited all the members of my group. So they will get a notification now that I've got this live. It's going to be happening on this date. So that's another way to kind of gather your people in terms of putting them into a Facebook group and then putting the appointment scheduling kind of out and there into a group environment. Okay, so we've talked about these 3 areas. Now I kind of want to talk about how we pull it all together, of how, you know, if you're taking payment, that's fine. We can send that link out. We can schedule an appointment or an event in Facebook or whatever, and we know how we can kind of deliver this stuff out of there. Now, I mentioned before there are a couple of tools that you can use if you haven't got a kind of website. I would be doing it through email marketing, and you might want to use something like MailChimp. So I've got a blog with all this stuff on anyway that you can access. Might be MailChimp or Active Campaign, or actually just direct using your own, you know, email kind of service. It might be something like that. Might be that you just literally want to use Facebook Messenger. So you might want to use, where we are, Messenger, somebody a direct message with that. So just think about how you're going to communicate it. That's what this is about. So we'll just set up a bit of a communication there. We'll pop those 2 in there because that's really where we need to communicate how we're going to get payment, how we're going to create the appointment scheduling. And then again, really communication comes back to these 2 here. So I have mentioned 2 tools. If we just set a little bit of need that for a minute. Okay, so easiest way is going to have a website page. So if you've got a website, it's really going to help you out right now. Website page. If you haven't, we can use things like Jotform. You can use email that I've mentioned before, and Zapier is another tool where you can kind of zap things together. So if somebody pays, then they get a link to this, and then you can give them a link to this, that type of technology. So I'm not going to cover this in this actual tutorial. I will record more videos as people ask me for certain things, but I'm just trying to cover everything that's been asked for so far on this class, whatever sort of stage you're at of where you can sort of take that to. So in terms of communication delivery, we've mentioned we've got Facebook group is quite an easy one for you to kind of work with. We've got email, which again comes under your sort of communication area of working. But we've also got websites. So many of you will already have websites. If you haven't already got a website, it's not hard to set up a kind of one-page website. I'm not in this masterclass to sell, but obviously I've got, you know, website capability and tools and things if anybody wants to give me a shout about any of those. It's not the purpose of this. This is the purpose to be able to help and support you to all get online. So I'm not going to talk any more on that. But if you've already got a website, I'm going to show you now how you can implement some of this stuff onto your website. If you haven't, I'm putting together a free masterclass of how you can create a website in 1 hour so you can get something up online and be able to communicate this stuff out with the world of how they can work with you. Okay, so if you've got a website, what I would be thinking about is how I can kind of put that onto my website as it is. So we're going to keep it really basic and we're going to say I need to take bookings on my website. Various different ways we can do that, and we're going to put the next sort of column up was I want to deliver training on my website. Okay. Now, I would actually go with bookings on your website. Again, we're going to look at, so again, we need to do payment on your website. Let's just drop this one down. Column up. Payment on my website. Okay. So payment again. If you've already got a shop on your website, it can be done by your shop. I use WooCommerce with WordPress. If you've got like a membership area already on your website, you might have something like MemberPress. If you haven't, that's the one that I recommend. Again, they would have payment options in there for you to be able to create any of this online sort of stuff. If you haven't, we can create a PayPal button. So we mentioned that before. We could also create a PayPal link. And we could again take bookings on your website. So if you've already got a online booking system, then that's a no-brainer because straight away you can work and you can create bookings through. In fact, you could create bookings through WooCommerce. They have a bookings kind of plugin that you could use. It could be that you want to use something like, I'm going to suggest, this is for WordPress websites by the way, Get Timely have a free plugin where you can kind of book tickets and things with links, so that's a good one for me to kind of show you today, and there are paid versions as well. Okay. If you're going to want to deliver training on your website, then it's about how you lock that training down. So you could do something as simply as have a password protected page. And then when somebody wants to, you know, make payment, come in, schedule the appointment or not, if they don't need to, then they would go to delivery and then we would lock down that delivery. We can put, these arrows are a little bit pesky in my note. Sometimes they have a bit of a mind of their own. There is an art to kind of turning them round, but if we just do these sort of arrows from here, we get a little bit of mind, and see what I mean? Drives me crazy. I do it all the time, which is why I tend to not use them so often. You have to actually unselect and kind of move them. Is to think about how you're going to lock down this delivery so not everybody would see that if you were offering it on your website. So password protected page, it could be that you've got an online platform called MemberPress. It could be, like me, that you operate an external platform. So I use Simplero as like a training membership area, or there's platforms like Thinkific, there's lots out there that you could be using as like a third-party delivery for your training. But at the most basic level, you could have a password protected page. There's sort of 3 areas to think about here, which are the 3 areas that we covered before. How you're going to take payment, if you need to take bookings, how you're going to take bookings, and then again that delivery kind of area on your website. So I'm going to cover these straight up. I'm going to use actually, this is one of my Jet Set website templates. Here, I'm going to use one of these to build a page. So it could be that you've already got a website, and it's like, how am I actually going to take payment? How am I going to then deliver stuff through this? Well, I'm just going to log in here because I've just noticed I'm not logged in. Pause this for 1 second. Okay, now you're going to have to use your imagination here, because I want you to imagine that this is a yoga class or a fitness class website or whatever it is, of like, I'm going to create a new page. So we will try and create the new page in that manner. So I'm just going to come in. If you don't know how to use WordPress, literally you can just create a new page here. I know many of you who have got WordPress have kind of got an idea of how you can add a fairly basic page into your website. If you haven't, give me a shout. I say I'm just putting together how to create a website in 1 hour. I show this sort of thing in there as well. Now I am going to use, so I'm a big fan of using Divi. I'm going to use the Divi Builder just because I'm used to using it. It's what I design my websites in and my templates in. If you haven't got Divi and you're using WordPress, you will have a similar kind of page builder, and if not, I recommend that you kind of understand how to update that website, or get your website designer to kind of build this page for you, or if not, kind of revert back to Facebook group if you're not at a kind of stage where you want to move forward with your website. But I recommend trying to bring it in to a central place wherever, particularly short-term strategy, okay, but actually long-term strategy, you wanting to bring people into your website. I very much believe that your website is the heart centre of your business online, so you totally need to be sort of starting to think about how you can bring people into your website. Okay, so I'm just going to insert a column here. And if you see a normal website that hasn't got Divi on it, it might just be that you would see a similar thing to this anyway. It would just be a text box here. So here, it may be if somebody's coming into this website, just put, I am now running my consultations and classes online, so you can access them from home. I would love to connect with you in my community. Okay, let's get the typos out of there. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to make this a little bit big. Just put a nice heading on there. Just put heading 2 on that. Okay, so that's just kind of our title here. I am going to pop an image in. Images, videos, you could record a video here and add like a video to the top to explain what's happening with this change. So there we go. It might be tarot card readings that you're going to now be doing online or instead of in person. Let's use that as an example. We'll bring that one up there, and I'm just going to publish this so that I can show it to you every step of the way. Now, one of the reasons why I love using WordPress and Divi is that we can change stuff on screen pretty easily as well. So I've got quite a big image up there. It wouldn't be that big ordinarily, but I'm now running my consultation class online, so if you can access them home, and love to connect with you, my community. Okay, so they can then, just going to enable this little visual builder gadget here to help me. Okay, so I'm just going to change this layout so you can see a little bit more as I'm showing you on screen. So just going to make that image small. Going to move this text up here. Okay, it's really, really simple to use this technology. So it might be that you would put here, you can book your reading, your class, your whatever it is, you can book your, let's use reading because we've got tarot cards there today. Okay, let's just leave it at that. Okay, then got a few options. Okay, so I could create a button to make payment. Okay, book and pay here. Okay, I'm just going to change that button because the layout needs, ignore this little bit. I'm just going to make it look a bit prettier, make text look a bit bigger. Just going to change that. We'll leave the background colour. It's picking up my link colour. Bear with me 1 sec. Here we go. Okay, so book and pay here. Change that hover colour too. You see, this is where my design stuff kicks in. Even on a demo, I have to go and change it with you. It's probably still going to hover over that colour. It's fine. We're all good. Okay, you're getting the gist. Book and pay here. So this is where they're going to come in. They're going to want to book a reading and they can book and pay here. Now, you might then want to communicate a little bit more. So I'm just going to drag this little button above here. And it might be that you want to say, if you're not using like an automated zap, as I mentioned before, when you book, I will send you a link to my diary to agree your session time type thing, and you can kind of put any terms and things like that that you want in there. If you want to put a video, obviously it might be that you want to put a little intro video up here instead of an image. You can totally do that. If you look, I'm just going to go out to my home page to show you a similar thing. Not Facebook, Amy. Here we go. So you can see here where I've got a bit of an intro video and then some text at the side. So you might want to do that. It's entirely up to you in terms of where you're up to with that. Okay, so book and pay here. When you book, I'll send you a link to your session time. Okay, now this button here, we're going to just, if you haven't got a booking system in your website, and I'm just now trying to find my planning board, which seems to have disappeared in the background. Let me just go and open it up again. You could attach this to a PayPal button or a paypal.me link. All those kind of things that we talked about before at a really basic sort of level you can totally go and get. So I'm just going to pull up this screen here. So payment on the website. If you've got a shop, you can obviously link to your shop. If you've got a member press area, you can link to your member press area. The other options are a PayPal button or a PayPal link. Okay, so I actually prefer PayPal links because they look prettier. So from a design point of view, if I click on this link here, which is the one that we set up right at the beginning of the video, as I click on this link, I'm going to show the link up there in a second. Okay, I'm just going to copy that and move this down again. And what we're going to do is we're just literally going to link this button to that link, and we're going to say we want to open it in a new tab and tick the little button there and click save. Okay, now if I come out of here now, I can now come and click on this button and it's going to take me straight over to that PayPal window to be able to go and pay. I've got to log in and pay what I need to pay. Okay, now that's one way to do it. We also looked at a PayPal button. As I say, I don't tend to use these very often because they don't look as pretty as a link, but we picked up what's called embed code here. Now I'm going to pull this code over. You don't need to be able to put it in a code box. I'm going to for this one, but if you haven't got Divi, you don't need to do this. Let's go enable. You literally could just paste it into the code area of your website. So you could come in here, if you're using Divi, I recommend you put it in the code area, and you can just literally pop it in and tick the box, and you'll see this nice, well, I was going to say nice, I'm using that term loosely, but this PayPal button has appeared. It gives a little bit of endorsement of the fact that you are checking out by credit card. And if I go and save that here, and then I exit the visual builder, I'm going to come and click on here, and again it's going to take me over to that pay button to pay this 40 quid that we set that button up for. And we're going to just go back over now. PayPal buttons automatically open in the same window, so it will take them off your website into that PayPal button to kind of check out. So that's one way to kind of integrate. As say, if you haven't got a shop already, there is a shop on this demo site actually here. This is just a test site. But obviously, if you've got WooCommerce in there, you can obviously make payments direct through your shop and things like that. Same goes if you've got a membership area on your website. But if you haven't, then you can still set up buttons and take payments from these. PayPal is quicker and easier than Stripe to do that. You can get plugins to create Stripe integration. If you just come into your dashboard, go to plugins and add new, you will be able to search for the best sort of Stripe ones to put in there to integrate. So let me just type Stripe here. So you're seeing here there's the WooCommerce Stripe gateway, and you can also just put it straight in. When you're updating plugins, make sure that they are compatible with the latest version of your WordPress and that they've been updated recently to be able to integrate that into your website. I've already got Stripe payments in the back of here. They work in a similar way, but if you've kind of first time up, it might be easy if you just kind of put a PayPal button or a PayPal link in there without having guidance on that. Okay, let me just back up and take you back to that page that we're talking about here. So then we talked about kind of putting event technology and things in there. So the ones that I would recommend for that, direct into a website. If you're using Calendly or Acuity, again, you can go and get the embed code out of there. So I'm just going to go and get my Calendly code and I will show you what that does. Just coming into Calendly here. So you can click on integrations and you can integrate it with wherever you want to. So we talked before about kind of email, integrating it with email. You can totally do that. You can hook up your Stripe and PayPal integration, and you could also use Zoom to integrate too. All of them will require, as far as I know, the paid platforms for you to do that. And I don't want to get too deep into this kind of masterclass today because it's designed really for those of you who just need to know the basics for you to be able to get online. I could literally talk about this stuff all day long, but you can integrate all of this over into your website using either embed code or integrations. So I'm just going to get my code now. So I've just pulled up my Calendly events here, and all you need to actually do is head to whichever event it is that you want to put in. So if I just put my bonus website powwow in, for example, I can click on here, I can just click add to the website. And it's the inline embed that we want to use. So we're going to click on that and it's going to pull up this code here. So you'll recognize that code that I just shared before. We're going to copy the code, or you can click on copy here. It will copy it to your clipboard, and then we could just go and add it in here. So just like the code with the PayPal button, we're just going to pop it in to bring in that event page below. Now, as I said, there's loads of different ways that we can hook all this stuff up together and automate it. Could be here all day showing you, but obviously everybody's needs are different with that, and this is just about getting you online with all of your stuff as quick as you can. So let me just go back, put that in. I think it's come up white, the code, so I'm just going to go in and change the text colour. Bear with me 1 second. Didn't like that one very much. I was going to try it one more time. I might have to go and pull it over again. Just pull it below here. It's going to try the text box instead of using it in code. Okay, so you can see that it's brought in the code, right? I just wanted to check that it was dark and it wasn't just me that was missing something on that. So that was what the code would look now. Now, if we put it into the text rather than visual here, it should pull it over as the visual. So you can see that it's because it's on a white background, something's not liking it. So I'm just going to go and change this background colour here just to see if it'll pull through the colour that way. Okay, and it's not. So I'm just going to pause you 1 second. Okay, I'm back and it's resolved. It actually is displaying, it's just the Adobe Visual Builder isn't showing it. So when we come out of Visual Builder, it does display. It did work. So we can see here we've got our calendar straight into our websites, we've got our payment buttons, we've got our calendar. Obviously we can make all these look pretty in terms of changing the layouts and things. And again, with the delivery, you can also put that into your website. So I'm not going to cover live stream. You can actually live stream straight into website pages. I'm actually going to probably put a link onto my lovely friend Ian, who teaches all about live stream and kind of bringing it through to websites. It is a bit more techy, which is why I'm not sharing it here with you, but you can certainly add video really easily within your website. So if you've created a live stream, you can absolutely kind of download the recording, put that up into a website, save that as a video. One of the best ways to be able to put your video into a website is to be able to host it somewhere else so it doesn't take up all your website speed. So maybe add it up to YouTube. You can literally just go into YouTube, upload the video, and then get the link from YouTube. So we'll do that now. So if I head over to YouTube, this is exactly what I'm going to be doing this video that I'm recording for you today. Let's go and have a little look, and I will show you how to do that while it's just having a little think. Okay, we're going to upload a little video. Now, if you don't want it to appear on YouTube, if it's like a training video or something like that, then you do need to put it as an unlisted video. But if you want to have it out publicly, then you would put it as a public video, obviously. So I'm actually just going to search for a video here. Let's just search for an MP4. I've got a movie here. All you need to do is open the file and it will literally come up to YouTube. This is me sharing some mindset reframing tool video. Tool number 2, you can put a description on there, a title, whatever it is that you want to do. You can also create your thumbnail, and it will ask if it's made for kids or not made for kids. It's not made for kids. And then you're going to choose next. You can choose there's loads of things. I could do videos specifically on YouTube all day long as well. But this is the bit that you want to really look at, is whether you want it to have it public. Obviously, if it's a training session and it's class that somebody's paid for, you wouldn't want to have it out there in the public. So what you want to do is have it as unlisted. Just going to click on save here. And it's going to process and upload, and then it's going to give you a link to be able to share that video elsewhere. So you could, these same links, you could be sharing out on an email to give somebody access to this particular video that's paid for it, or if it's a copy of a live, if you want to have the replay up here, if the Facebook group closes down, you could kind of put that up onto YouTube, or you could have it in your website, which is what obviously I am showing you now. So I'm just on there, it's just skipped to 95% processed as I was gonna upload it. So let's just have a little look here. Okay, so it's all uploaded. We're just gonna literally close it here, and this, when we click into this now, and if I started to play this video, is actually the watch link that we want. So up at the top here, I think that's the wrong one, just bear with me one sec. Okay, so I've opened the video up here, and it's this link that you want here, which is the youtube.com/watch one. So we can edit that, and literally then we're just going to pull it over to the website. We're going to add a video module. If you haven't got Divi and you haven't got a video module, you can pick up the embed code from YouTube, which I will show you where that is in a second too. So again, I'm just going to click on here. I'm going to type the video module here, and then here we're just going to put the link in to upload the video. Upload it. Let's insert it from URL. You can even put a little pretty overlay on it, and we're going to generate that from the video as well. So have a little think, and there we go. There is the video in the website, all there. Now, as I said, if you haven't got Divi currently, you can go and get your embed code. So you can share your video, you can click on your embed code, and this is the code, you can copy it there, that you need to put into your website. So your screen would look a little bit more like this sort of screen, but in WordPress. You just paste it in there. When you click to visual, you will see it will play like on a YouTube screen. Divi has a little bit of added functionality in there, but it can pull over to your website easily in terms of you delivering that out on a page. So obviously we've covered a lot of things in this video. I was just keen to put together whatever aspect, whatever stage you are at in terms of being able to get yourself online, to be able to move any classes, consultations, anything like that online. It's obviously a 3-step system to go: payment, scheduling if you need to have that, if it's not, whether that's Facebook, Acuity, Calendly, and then the delivery of how you're going to deliver that with the communication in between. So how you're communicating out at every point. And the 3 sort of main delivery options that we've talked about in terms of Facebook groups, email, and ideally website, and some of the tools around that. So I have created a free toolkit over on my website. So if you head on over to Happy Heart HQ, I'm adding to it all of the time, as well as people are asking me for kind of different tools and things you can use. So if there's anything you want to know, do let me know. And I can share that with you. It's the first one, well, it's currently the first one on my blog. It might be changing as depending on when you're watching this video. But you can go in and you can just have a look at the toolkits and tips, really, to kind of how you can switch this stuff up. So here we go. So it's got links to most of the stuff that I have mentioned in today's video. I'm also going to put a copy of this video at the bottom of this blog, so you may well have found it here. And I'm going to create another video of how you can get your website live in 1 hour if you need to get a website up across the board. Obviously, I've got other resources that, including templates and training and things that can help you. Give me a shout if I can help in any way. My email address is naomi@happyhearthq.com, and I will catch you very soon. Good luck with everything.